You haven't failed. The system failed you. And today, Henry is going to show you a way out. You've tried things. You've watched the videos. Maybe you've even bought a course or two. And somewhere along the way, a voice in your head started saying, maybe I'm just not the kind of person who can make this work. We know that voice. It has stopped many others, but it doesn't need to stop you. In today's Freedom Friday training, Henry will walk you through exactly how everyday people, many of them over 55, are building real income online. No tech background required, no big following, no problem. He will go live in just a moment. Drop a hello in the comments. Henry will see you inside.
And here I am. Good afternoon. Good Friday afternoon, the 15th of May, 2026. We are halfway through the month. And for us, that means we have about 2 weeks left if we are going to find a house to purchase and give us time to give notice to the owner of the home that we've been renting for the last almost 4 years. So I am watching the time and I'm watching the month and watching the calendar. But right now, I want people to watch what I am going to demonstrate. And I'm going to just switch over to my other screen here. And so today I wanted to talk about how to get away from having to do the thumb thing on your phone and how to, let me switch back over here. There we go. How to talk to your AI. So this is my Friday afternoon talking about AI for humans. And if you are not yet a member at AI for Humans, this is my school community. Just started this a couple of weeks ago, beginning to get some growth here. And I've added a few things. So just wanted to show you quickly the classroom area. Take a look at here. Right now I have these 6 modules set up for people who are just beginning to get into using AI for your business or hoping to start a business and use AI. This is a good place to begin. You can go through the different modules. The last one I did here is talking about how to actually module 4 is teaching your AI about you, which is very important. If you're going to use either ChatGPT or Claude, I've used both. I'm primarily using Claude right now. I found that that works much better for what I'm trying to do and has had a better understanding as I've given it context for who I am and what my history has been and what I am doing with my business. It works very well for me. So when you join, it's free. At some point here, probably middle of summer, I will be offering upgrades to this. I'm going to look at some things that I'm building out that will be paid content. And so everybody who gets in now will have lifetime access for free. And so I just encourage you, if you haven't gone there yet, you can go to, the address is AI4, the word for, AIFOR humans.biz, not .com, AI4humans.biz, and you will land on this page, and you can watch my handsome AI twin there, dressed up in his sport coat and shirt and tie. Well, he doesn't have a tie on this time, but a little fancier dressed than I am today. And that's about I think a 4 or 5 minute video. You can get some information about me. There's information about what my background is, 30 years online, building websites, doing technology, buying lots of different packages and systems and giving them a try. And at the end here, I will teach you a little bit or show you a little bit about what I am now doing and how that is helping me to be better focused on building a business. So for right now, what I said I was going to do, let me just switch back over here for a minute. So on my phone right now, I'm checking, make sure that Facebook Live is actually running on there. And you can see my face has got a red circle around it. So that's working. But I'm going to get out of that and switch to an app on my phone. This one, which is called, what is it called? It is called Screencast, really technical term. So this will give me the ability to cast from my phone, and what I'm doing on my phone will go over onto the computer screen, which I will share, and you'll be able to see what I am doing over there. So switch again, and now you're looking at the broadcast page. I'm going to begin to broadcast. And to do that, all I need to do is back off that word, hit the refresh, and there we go. Now you see the app. Now you see my wife. And now I am in ChatGPT. So what I wanted to show you, get that out of the way. What I wanted to show you is I am not going to touch the keys. There we go. I'm not going to touch the keyboard. I'm going to click on, and you've probably already figured this out, so it's not a big secret, that little microphone. If you hit that white button that looks, let me get it, there we go. If you hit that white button over on, it would be on the right side. Now I have an Android, things might look a little different if you're on an iPhone, but that little circle, that white circle, it's got like a voice icon in it. If you go there, you can actually go into voice mode and talk with chat. I can do the same thing in Claude. Those are handy. I've used that particularly with Claude when I'm driving somewhere. I'll have a conversation with Claude about something. But the caution is that if you do that and you're trying to put some information into a project area, it's not, they're not totally linked up. I could have, I guess maybe after a bit, I will ask Claude when I switch over to Claude instead of ChatGPT. I'll ask Claude again to describe what it is, what the difference is between that and clicking on that little microphone button. So I can do the microphone button, but on my phone, I actually have something else. Let's see if I can point to it over here. Next to my finger is a little icon, and you can see it. If I touch it, you'll see it change. Now, what I'm doing right now, Alex, I've named my ChatGPT assistant Alex, so I call him Alex, call it Alex. So Alex, I'm just doing a demo showing how to use the Whisper app, and I have people on a live stream that are watching my phone that is up on my computer screen, and so I just wanted to say hello and tell me about one of your favorite flowers. How would that be? Can you tell us about your favorite flower? Okay, so now you see the text. I hit that button again, and now if I hit the up arrow, we'll see what Claude has to say. There you go. How's that? The reason people are drawn to sunflowers is not just the bright yellow color, but also the way they naturally turn toward the sunlight. Now that was pretty fast. So now I'm actually, I'll show you here, I'm actually scrolling the content on my phone, and that's what you see on the computer screen as moving because I'm hooked up with that app. So here, back over here. So now that was using the Whisper app, and that pops up whenever I hit the text line down there. Now you'll see it again. There it is up by my finger. And if I touch that again, yeah, let's try it this way. There we go. Now on the screen, you can see that that is, it has a check mark, and you can see there's like my voice is being picked up on there. And so I can hit the check button. And if that's not what I wanted to send to Alex, I can just backspace. So I do have to use my finger once in a while to backspace, or if I find something that I said didn't come out right, like I'll do messages to people and invite them to my AI for Humans school. Most of the time, uh, well, it's getting better, but most of the time in the past, it would just type school out as SCHOOL. And the school community, of course, is SKOOL. So I would go in and click on school and manually type it to correct it. So I do have to use my hands once in a while to do that. But this works pretty well. And this time I'm going to hit the microphone button. Alex, I like your choice of flowers. The birds around here that come to our bird feeder, we have multiple types of bird seed that we put in the bird feeder, and one of them is, of course, the sunflower seeds. And there are certain birds that like those, so that's a good choice. And again, it's similar to using Whisper, that when I'm done with the microphone, I tap it again, and now to enter. There we go. Now Alex is responding. And now, of course, he's showing up pictures of backyard birds. Watching birds at a feeder is one of the simplest, relaxing things left in life, especially early in the morning with a cup of coffee. Like he would know what that's like, right? It would know what it's like. So there we are. We actually have, well, he's got several pictures here. Let's see what he's got. And again, I am using my finger to scroll across. There we go. Oh, there's one going after the dried sunflower seeds. Pretty cool. Yep, there's a goldfinch on the sunflower seed. So that's one of the ways, that primary way that I use my phone, is that I talk to it. You folks that are on iPhones, you've been talking to your phones to, what is it, Siri, for a long time. I can use Google. I've done that in the past. Not very often do I use that, but there's a certain term. If I say it, it'll pop up Google, and I don't want to invite it into the conversation, so I'm not going to say that. But this is an easy way to work with your AI. And let me just switch back over here. There's my wife again. I'm going to go over to Claude, and I'm going to go to a new chat. So back at it, Henry. Yes, I am. So one of the things that I have set up, I should show you, in Claude is I've set up projects. And so when I have a conversation that's specifically for one of the project areas I work on, such as AI for Humans, for Substack, I have a newsletter that is AI for Humans Substack. I'm not going to take time to show you that right now. I don't have that ready on my screen. I have the AI for Humans School. My wife and I have a ministry that we're helping out with called Caring Ministry at our church here in Columbia. Actually, the church is in Spring Hill. And then I have a YouTube channel that is Metal Market Minute. where I developed that about, oh golly, 5 months ago, I guess, 6 months ago. I I watched some article or read something and had an idea to see how I could go about creating a YouTube channel just using AI. So I did that using Perplexity, and Perplexity walked me through all of the creation tools. I've built YouTube channels before, so it wasn't new, but I just kept asking it questions like I was brand new, never touched one before. How do I do this? How do I do a banner? Whatever that thing is at the top. And then gave me, by that time, I had fed enough information about who I am and what I wanted to do to Perplexity, and it actually created the bio and all of that information. And so I post, I was for a while trying to post every day, Monday through Friday. Now, because I'm busy with my Legacy Builders uh, program and also doing the AI training on AI for humans, I've kind of gotten away from that, but I'm looking at actually building an agenic workflow. Claude has already given me all the information, the process to do that, to link up pieces that would build it automatically every day, Monday through Friday, and put up a video short on that YouTube channel. Anyway, so that's in here. AI for Humans, my Facebook page, Legacy Builders, and of course, by default, when I started back in April 1st, it looks like, that was interesting. April Fool's Day. I wonder what that means. Anyway, Legacy Builders is in there, and AI for Humans. That page, that Facebook page, not my profile page, but a Facebook page. And Claude and I had a long discussion last night, late in the afternoon and last night, and we are going to work on updating that, and I'll share some of that maybe in the future. Anyway, so this is in these. I didn't plan on showing you this part of it, but in these projects, I build out information. You can add instructions. You can build up the memory, custom instructions. I can put files in there, Word files, PowerPoint files, documents, and so on. And these are all the conversations that we had about that. And so anyway, that's a freebie. If you really want to get to using your AI assistant and doing more with it, I would recommend that you get involved with projects and just ask Claude how to build the project. So let me just check the other computer. Okay. Is that I see, pardon me while I stare across at my other computer and see who's commenting on my YouTube channel here. I see Martha's on there. First time here, anxious to see what Whisper. We'll be talking about that a little bit, and I'll show you. I believe that there is a free trial on Whisper, but I will bring that up towards the end here. So one of the questions that somebody had the other day in AI for Business was a problem of getting their information out of ChatGPT into Claude. So let me just go in and ask that question. I'm just going to use the microphone on here. And so somebody asked a question about the easiest way to get their content history from ChatGPT into Claude. I know you and I did that a few months back when I began using you. I don't remember the process on that, but if you could share that here, I will, when I get all that information put together, I will put that up on my AI for Humans site and add that in so people that are trying to make that transition will have that. So let's see what Claude has to say about that. Well, found our original conversation. So I guess I need to use my phone again. How to move your ChatGPT history into Claude. There are really two ways to approach this, and the right one depends on how long someone has been using ChatGPT. Option one, export your ChatGPT data, and it talks about all the steps involved in doing that. Again, I will copy this out. This will be, of course, a saved session in Claude, and I will pull that content out and post it to AI for Humans so that I forget who it was in there that asked that question the other day. Maybe it was Martha, I don't recall. One of the reasons I use Claude is that I've got so much going on, I can't remember everything, so I just say, hey Claude, what were we talking about on this particular subject? Option two, skip the exports. Start fresh, recommended for most people, and I think that's probably what I did. Claude does not automatically sync or import from ChatGPT. It is a manual process either way. But the good news is it does not take long, and once the context documents exist, they can use it to get Claude up to speed quickly. Yeah, it says, want me to write a polished article or tutorial for the posting? Yes, please, if you could just do that as how about a Word document, and that'll make it easy for me to copy over into AI for Humans. Thank you. My wife made the comment, and I might have said this on last week's webinar live stream, that my wife made the comment one day when we were working on our caring ministry. She said, you're more courteous, you talk nicer to your AI than you do to people. I said, and I kind of let that pass, and later I asked her what she meant by that. But I do. My conversations are like I'm talking to a human, and that's why sometimes I slip and say him or act like it's a human. I know it's not a human. It's a computer. It's a bigger computer than this. Hey, did you notice that? If I turn the phone sideways, you can see it on the screen sideways. That is also a cool part of this application, this screencast. Anyway, so that's the way that I do talk with people, or talk with my AI assistant. I talk with it like I am talking to a person. I sat outside last night in the cool of the evening, and I had a discussion for about 20-30 minutes. We went back and forth about what I'm doing with one aspect of my business. And I gave it some real personal kind of information about what was going on and how I felt things were going. And it helped. Of course, it was very sympathetic. They're all trained to be sympathetic. I've actually I spent quite a bit of time with ChatGPT going through and reprogramming it not to be so nice, to challenge me. And I also have done that partly the way I did with Chat with Claude, because I don't want it always, encouraging me and all of those kinds of things. Sometimes you just want it like you were talking to a real person who thinks you got a stupid idea. Just tell me it's stupid. Okay, that's fine. So there's the document. I have the document that I'm going to share, and we'll see later today, or maybe I won't get to it until tomorrow. My wife and I have some things to do when she gets back from homeschooling the grandkids. But let me pop over to, okay, so let's see here. This is the Whisper app. So I started off, a friend of mine, Bill Allen up in Spring Hill, who I met a couple of years ago. He has coached me with my, when I got into doing real estate investment. And a couple of months ago, I was at one of his meetings, and he talked about this Whisper app. That's the first time I heard about it. So I got a free download of it, And that's what I have running on my phone yet, but I did upgrade. You can see that I'm on the Pro version. Oop, I guess I need to switch my screens here. Sorry, folks. There we go. If I don't drag things over to my main screen over here that I'm sharing, you don't get to see it. So this is Whisper, and I do have the Pro version of it, and I can drop emails in here and invite people. And when I do that, I'm supposed to get a free month. There's my link. I can copy that. Actually, what I'll do is, I think, let's see, you get a free month when they dictate 2,000 words. They sign up and get a free month of Pro. So, Martha, I will drop that over on the AI for Humans. I'll add that to the post that I did for this webinar today, for the live stream event, and then people can have my affiliate link. And if you and enough people click on it and eventually buy, I think I'm paying $15 a month. You can see I don't have any referrals. Um, Let me just check here quick. I will pull up on what is the price per month for using the Whisper app. And let's see. Here we go. No, I don't need it in pounds. What is the price per month for the Whisper app in US dollars? Searching, pricing. No. $6.99 a month when you go for a year, it looks like. There we go. So there's the full pricing. Whisper, $15 or $12 a month billed annually. So $15 a month is the price to get the Whisper app, and I will drop that. As I said, I'll put that in AI for Humans. So that's how I do. You've seen me demonstrate now both Claude, ChatGPT, and Claude, and now I just use Google. I go back over here. These are the apps that I have on my phone, my shortcuts. There's Perplexity, Claude, ChatGPT, and Gemini. And then I've also used Grok. Excuse me, I've used Manus, Notebook LM. I'll have to do some training on that sometime because I've used that to build out the longer videos that I put up on my YouTube channel, which is Metal Market Minute, if anybody wants to know what that is. Metal Market Minute's gold and silver investing site. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was, so I've been using AI tools now for, I'm gonna get out of this app here, shut this, well, I'll just leave it running on my phone. I've been using AI tools from, I think, mid to late 2023. I started using them. I used Bard, which was the original Gemini or Google app before all the upgrades, and then they renamed it. I think sometime in 24 they renamed it to Gemini. So I started using Bard to help me rewrite post for my website that I was using for just checking a couple things here on my app, make sure everything's good. Yep. I was using that to blog post for the real estate investing business that I did for about a year and a half. And that's how I got started. And then one of the teachers, one of the mentors I had in land flipping with real estate investing, was using AI tools to actually do research. And he hired a couple mentors to show how to do certain things. And I saw another piece of what they were, how you could use AI to do research in that particular area for real estate investing. And kind of one thing led to another. I found you could, of course, create neat little images and short videos using Gemini. And then I began using the Heygen, Heygen app, which I still use. That video that you see of me on the screen right now, I have the audio turned off.
Hello, and welcome to AI for Humans. I'm really glad you're here. My name is Henry, and I've been in the world of online business and digital marketing for over 30 years, since 1995. Back when dial up was considered fast and having a website at all made you kind of a pioneer. Over those
Get my mouth closed. So that's a longer video, avatar video that can be created in Heygen. And if people want, I will do a teaching on that. I'm thinking of doing a module. I ask people to post in the community. Let's see, where was it? Back 6 days ago, what would you like the next module to cover? So for those of you who are part of AI for Humans, if you want to go in there and cast your vote, I've got an idea for 2 or 3 things. Heygen is one of them that I've been thinking about, and I will work on that and have Claude help me. Of course, he's my research assistant, and everything that it does, see, I said he again, everything it does, I do read through. Sometimes I have my wife check for typos. She's much better than that. Before I started using AI, she was my proofreader. As a school teacher for 8 years, she's much better at that. So click out of there. So if you want to post something there and give me some ideas, Heygen or anything else, at some point I'm going to give an overview of what I did to create the YouTube channel, the Metal Market Minute, and hopefully by the time I do that, I will have set it up to post pretty much automatic, if at least semi-automatically, because that is a process that I go through. It's pretty fast compared to what it was before I started using Claude. But I wanted to just show you here as I wrap up. I've got let me show you something else I just found. So one of the things that I have learned to create content from Mike Gowans is to pull my AIs. At this point, our AIs cannot watch a video and listen to it and understand it. So you need to pull the transcript. And I just had a couple videos that I wanted to do that on this morning, and I realized that somewhere between today and a few days ago, last week, I guess, when I pulled the last transcript, YouTube made it harder. There used to be, you could hit the button below the comment area, the notes area, and hit a button for transcript, and then there'd be 3 little dots, a menu thing up towards the top of the transcript that you could select without having to scroll down through an hour or 2 hours of a transcript to copy it. So this application you see, YouTube-transcript.ai, see that there? YouTube-transcript.ai is a site that you can go and grab a URL from a YouTube channel, paste it in here, and boom, it gives you a full transcript. And then you can copy that into your AI. I did that this morning. I went in and copied the content down. And also, by the way, it does translations and a lot of things. I haven't even read through all the tools you can do in there. Pretty cool. So that's a freebie. Well, there you can see it right there. I should have read the page. YouTube-transcript.ai. And that's a cool tool to add to your list of things. And I've done that. I added that as a shortcut to my desktop where I save things. Now, before I wrap up, because I am on the subject of AI, I wanted to show you that in our Legacy Builders program, this is where I log in to my Legacy Builders area. There is under Phase 5, Leveraging AI Made Easy, there is a whole unit that talks about building your mini brand with AI for authentic connection, harnessing AI to craft your compelling brand. All of this information is in there. 11 Labs. 11 Labs is a audio and now is also, they also have video avatars included in there. I haven't used it yet, but every time I do an audio file, that comes up. The audio commercial, that 60-second commercial you heard, if you're on my stream at the beginning, is an audio file that I created to then go along with the 3 or 4 photos that I added, which came from FreePic or Magnific, F-I-C, I guess it is. I thought they were trying to be French with it and make it magnifique, but anyway, I digress. So over here, 11 Labs, dubbing and translation, how to use that. Creating your own clone with HeyGen. So I'm going to be doing content about that myself. I've been using the HeyGen probably now for almost a year, I think, when I first began. And then facelift videos, B-roll using CapCut. I have not gotten into using CapCut yet. I still use Canva for most of what I do to create images and to stitch together video clips or stitch together images to make a video clip or carousels that I post to Instagram and so on. So if you are interested, if you are not part of Legacy Builders, I invite you. I'm not going to describe everything in here because it would take me more than 3-4 hours to describe everything that's available in here. But if you go to my henrygrinerteam.com site, henrygrinerteam.com, this is my landing page. And the beauty of, I love Legacy Builders for a number of reasons. One is I've been building websites since 1996 when I built the first website for my bank back in Elk River. It was just a brochure. There was no online banking. At that point, there was really no online commerce. It was illegal to try to sell anything on the internet because it was all run over government and university campus websites over the old ARPANET. And so I've been doing this for a while. I've lost count of how many websites, and primarily WordPress type websites later on after WordPress came out. And when I decided to get out of doing the real estate investing the end of 2025 and saw for the second time, I saw a presentation about Legacy Builders and that they had a website, a done-for-you website included in there, loaded with all the emails. You didn't have to create your own emails. You didn't have to build a sales funnel. I've used Russell's ClickFunnels before. Russell Brunson, I actually met him like 16 years ago when I was helping my friend. I worked with a guy for about 4 years. We did live stream events. he put on these internet marketing conferences. They were 3-day events. One of the last ones before we parted company was out in Salt Lake City for a friend of Russell Brunson's, and I got to meet him. And I knew about ClickFunnels. I actually set some of the ClickFunnels up for my friend in the internet marketing area. So I was happy to find out that I didn't have to build another website. I actually have a website built on Go High Level that I've learned how to create, and at some point I may do some updates to that and utilize that more. I really should do that. But even there, I didn't have to build everything out because it was all pretty much templated. This is even better because all I had to do here, and there's total instructions when you come in. If you don't know anything about tech, you don't know an HTML from an elemental P, you can do this. There's videos. You saw that list that I showed for uh, all of the AI stuff. There is step-by-step video that would show you how to take a photograph and then put your bio down here. And then on one of the other pages, you can add your photograph and a longer bio. And that's about all you have to do other than linking up your shopping cart with Square or PayPal or both. So, and it's all detailed. And if you don't want to mess with it, there is a done for you package for a couple $100, whatever they charge, and they'll do it all for you. So I didn't have to build my website. But if you're interested, go in, drop your email. We don't need your name or address, your credit card, none of that. You just drop your email address in over here and hit the button, and you will go to, I'll just show you this and then we'll, yep. This will drop you on this page where you see my millionaire, multi-millionaire mentor. This is Michelle O'Neill, who built Legacy Builders almost 4 years ago. I think September will be the beginning of her 5th year. And in her first 17 months, she earned $1 million. And so I'm not going to give you any more details. You can drop your email address in there, watch the video. If you want to learn more, you click on it, find out what the 10 income streams are. If it's something you want to do, you have access to everything. And on the AI end, of course, there is training in there, but if you join free with AI for Humans, I will be there to help you along that area too. So that's about it. Now I'm back to my phone, which is a blank screen. There's my wife. She'll pop up. Nope, not quite. There we are. So there you see my tools again. That's what I have for the day. I was planning to make this a little shorter because it was a short night last night. And my wife will be home pretty soon from homeschooling the grandkids. And we need to go get some groceries and do some other things and wrap up some material that we're putting together for a training that she's actually the trainer. Of course, I'm the IT guy. I got to finish up the PowerPoint presentation for a meeting that we're doing at church on Monday night. So with that, if you have any questions, you can drop me an email. It's henry@henrygriner.com, henry@henrygriner. Usually I have my email address on here somewhere, but it's GRINER, henry@henrygriner.com is my direct email. For people who are already in the AI for Humans, you can drop I still have the chat on there. It's not locked up. You can chat with me, drop me a chat message. And if you have questions, I prefer that you go to the question area and post your questions there. And see if I can get back over there. Here we go. Switch back to that screen for a second. So in AI for Humans, you can introduce yourself. I just started a wins area where people can post their wins. And here's the Q&A area. There's resources, weekly tips, and so on. So I just encourage you, if you do have questions and you're already a member or you're planning to join for free, a whole cost of zero, and you will never pay, even when I go to upgrades or charge for any of the modules. You always will have free access to all the content and be one of the founders. In here, you can see I'm only at 27 people right now, so that's 26 plus me. And I just encourage you to go in there and join up. And now I've been on for about 15 minutes longer than I planned to. So with that, I'm going to say thank you, turn off the live stream. God bless, have a great weekend, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.